I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. Um, Something that I wanted to talk about today was that I find very fascinating is that the foundation of who you are starts at home. And you are what you produce, and you produce what you are. Whether it was your parents, whether it was your parents' parents, yourself, your children, future generations to come, you have to understand that the environment of your home affects your mental, your emotional, your spiritual, your psychological, your physical state. And childhood is like the blueprint where everything is created. And the way your parents or your caregivers responded to your needs shapes how you see love, how you feel safety, how you trust, and good many adults' habits, both good or bad, are just survival mechanisms that they learned when they were younger, like communication. If you were ignored, you struggle to speak up. If you were constantly criticized, you become a perfectionist. If you were always a peacekeeper, you may be the people pleaser. You might be a people pleaser today. And childhood experiences lay the foundation of a person's sense of self. It lays the foundation for their emotional regulation. Can you regulate your emotions? It also shows relationship patterns, and they will continue to affect you into adulthood. So it makes me think all the times that you cried as a child, all the times you were hurt, because it's interesting that even if you don't remember it, your body keeps a score. And all the things, the bad things or the traumatic things or the painful things, it doesn't even have to be severely negative, but it just the things that were quote unquote bad in your childhood, you remember. You may not remember, but your body remembers. And all the time that you were forced to pretend something didn't bother you when it did, those things don't go away. Those experiences become lodged within you, within your body, just waiting for the right time, waiting for the to see the light, whether it's a good or bad situation. And what I have learned is that emotional regulation starts at home, because you learn to deal with stress, or I learned to deal with stress by looking at my parents. I learned to deal with my anger, my sadness, disappointment by watching my parents. If emotions weren't safe to express, you probably learn to shut down or you self-soothe. It can also show up as attachment styles, like are you an anxious? Are you a fearful avoidant? Are you a dismissive avoidant? Are you secure? Do you have a secure attachment style? And the thing is, you can have more than one. But healing is so important to this, because healing allows you to develop new skills that you didn't learn when you were younger, that were not taught to you back then. And love and support are things that you carry into your childhood, but you also carry the influences of the not so positive times and the times that did not quote unquote fit into your perfect perception of what childhood or what your parents what you thought your parents were going to be. And the thing is, they become you. And I find it very reckless and thoughtless when we don't look at the wounds, we don't look at the pain, we don't look at our childhood as a source of information or knowledge, something that we can learn from. Because the thing is, your childhood affects every decision that you make today. The version of you that was scared, the version of you that was lonely, overlooked, still influences how you respond today. And the thing is, when you don't look at your childhood, you not only do you hurt yourself, but you hurt people around you. You hurt the people that live with you. You hurt people in proximity by not looking into your past. Because things that trigger you, often come from the unhealed parts of your childhood. And you will start bleeding on someone who didn't even cut you, because you're not willing to heal from the things of your past. And this person might not have, probably didn't even do anything bad to you, but they remind you of the pain and the wounds that you have in your past. And so now you start, like I said, bleeding on someone who didn't even cut you. And when I feel as though when we don't want to look into our past, the things that happen in our childhood, both good or bad, and see the perspective or something that you can learn from them, I think we bury painful memories so deeply into our minds, and we want to forget how much they hurt us. And digging them back up is like reopening wounds that we have convinced ourselves that are healed. But the thing is, healing doesn't come from forgetting. It comes from recognizing your pain, what you buried, understanding it, and you also have to realize it comes from releasing the hold that it has on you as well. And something that I have held myself accountable to is that even your parents were products of their own childhood. Many of them, my parents did the best became the best parents, did the best that they could with what they had. I have to recognize that it's their first time living too. They're not going to get it right on the first try. They're going to make mistakes, and they're not going to fall into my expectation of what perfect parents are. I needed to look at their reality, not their potential, because even their parents made mistakes. Even their parents made mistakes, previous generations, and I'm sure I'm going to make mistakes. And that all of those people have pain as well. All those people in your generation, in your family have pain as well. Something called like epigenetics. Genes can also play a role in your childhood as well, because experiences from past generations affect you too. And I had to realize that if I want to break generational curses, if I want to break trauma cycles, I am not doing, it's not beneficial to me to blame my parents or generations before me. But the thing is, I need to recognize that they did the best that they could with what they had. And a lot of them were even operating from open for unhealed trauma and wounds and pains that they kind of just pushed down and kept moving and didn't want to recognize. And so I've had to learn compassion so that I don't remain in the realm of blame, because blame will keep you stuck. I have had to have more compassion, because compassion means healing, and I will continue to grow if I continue to remain compassionate. Because the thing is, your trauma is never your fault, but healing is your responsibility. Do you allow the influence from everything that happened to you in the past to direct your life and your relationships in any particular way until the day that you leave this earth? Are you always going to be allowing the things that happened in your past to continue to direct your own life? Because you have the power to give yourself the power that you didn't have when you were younger. You can give yourself safety, you can give yourself validation, love, consistency. You can give yourself intimacy, never feeling loved. You can give yourself availability. You can give yourself trust in relationships that you might not have received from your parents growing up. And because if you don't give it to yourself, you will spend the rest of your life trying to find someone that will fulfill this role and will fulfill these aspects of yourself. And self-awareness is the first step to you rewriting the story. Because my thing is, if you're not self-aware, you're more likely to repeat the behaviors and the patterns that your parents made and their parents made. And this goes for all kinds of good and bad. Usually, and if you don't heal from the past, your wounds, your triggers, your pain will continue to resurface in new situations, just wearing a different face, just wearing a different mask, having maybe in a different city, in a different state, in a different faces. But it's never too late to rebuild from the past. Your past never shaped you, but it doesn't have to define your future. And once you identify the roots of everything, you can pull them out and start planting new ones. And that comes from the space of, you have to become self-aware, which is the first step. I always say being self-aware is always the first step to everything, because every version of you deserves understanding, not shame or dismissal. And I just truly find it beautiful when people recognize things that happen in their childhood and they become more compassionate, more empathetic, more understanding to the child that they were, and giving that child grace and understanding and safety and love, and so that they can become the adult they need to become presently and the adult they need to become in the future. And I don't know, that was just something that I wanted to talk about today, how your childhood can shape so much in your life, but your trauma is never your fault, but healing is your responsibility. Yes, all those things happened to you in the past, but what are you going to do to move forward and create a better life for yourself, or heal from that pain that you never want to feel again? And I think it's just an important step that every single human being needs to make as well. Just heal. don't continue to let the cycle and the process and the generational trauma continue to run in your family. You need to let it stop with you. And that's just something that I wanted to talk about today. And I just hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys next time.